We are talking about the Eisenhower matrix. Now, I go deep into the Eisenhower matrix in episode 41, where I talk about the brain dump method and how there is so much power in combining the brain dump method with the Eisenhower matrix. And when you put those two together, it is magic. But for the sake of brevity and keeping this one really short, we are going to talk just about the Eisenhower matrix. But I can't stress enough and encourage you, go listen to episode 41, because it's a really good one, if that's not too bold of me to say. Okay, so Eisenhower matrix. Yes, it is actually named after the United States President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who became president in 1953. And it's named after him because he was so dang productive. So this is one of those guys who gets more done in a day than most people do in a week. But he doesn't just do it for a small period of time. He does it for decades, to the extent that people were studying and trying to figure out, how is this man so productive? And so they'd ask him and they'd talk to him, and it turns out that he had this method. And it was this urgent to important matrix. So it was a Foursquare. Imagine, like, if you were playing Foursquare as a little kid, right? 4 boxes, and you had the boxes above labeled and then on the left side, and they were labeled on the top urgent and then not urgent, and then on the left side important as the top and not important as the bottom. Now, here's what Eisenhower would do every single day. He would sit down, make a list of all the things he needed to do, and he would put them into a box. Is it important and urgent? Is it not urgent but important? Is it not important but urgent? Or is it not important, not urgent? Once he had placed all the tasks in their appropriate box, he focused on what was important and urgent and what was important but not urgent. And here's where his magic really showed up. A lot of us focus on important and urgent. That one's obvious. And we focus on not important and urgent. And we neglect the important but not urgent, right? I mean, if you don't feel this pressing deadline, you keep putting it off. But those are often the things that will truly move the needle for us, for our goals, for our dreams, for the direction we want to see our business or our lives or our family take a year from now or 5 years from now. By focusing on the not urgent but important, by making sure you're scheduling time for those high priority focuses that are so easy to put off for another day, he was able to outperform his counterparts over and over and over. Now, I can't stress it enough. I really would encourage you to go back to that episode number 41, where we can go into this so much deeper. But here's who the Eisenhower matrix is for. Anyone feeling overwhelmed? Every time I am at that point where I am like, total overwhelm, I'm done. Oh my gosh, I use the brain dump method plus the Eisenhower matrix every single time. It's also for anyone who's unsure of their next step. They're unsure of priorities. This is going to make it incredibly clear for you. Now, here's how to fail at the Eisenhower matrix. Believe too many things are urgent and important when they really aren't. You're going to fail, definitely, if you keep that strategy in place. And the second is refusing to eliminate. One of the boxes that I really actually love is the one that's not important and not urgent. When things go into that box, I can almost always say, not gonna do it, and just let that go. But if we choose to believe that everything has urgency, everything is important, everything needs to be done, we need to be the one to do all the things, we burn out. We just can't. It's too hard. So that's when we start feeling like we're failing, and you are not meant to fail. So use these strategies. Use all of them, grab onto them, give them a try, adjust them, make them work for you. But when we stack these different strategies on top of each other, wow, amazing things happen. I hope you have loved this series and really enjoyed learning just a little bit more. I'm sure you knew them, but maybe getting a little bit more of a takeaway. And I hope that if nothing else, it's going to remind you to utilize these different techniques. And if you have one that you think I should have covered that you love, send me a DM or an email and tell me. I would love, love, love to hear. Thank you so much for listening to the Balancing Busy podcast. I am here to help you do less but better so that you can have your dreams and your ambitions, but never at the cost of your home, your health, or your happiness. I'll see you next week.